the plane and they intersect, if I move one a little bit, I'm not going to be able to take it off the other. But I can take it off if I allow myself to go into space. The reason is that 3 is greater than 1 plus 1. Each line is a one-dimensional object, and 1 plus 1 is 2, but I have one extra dimension, and that's why I can do it. Similarly, if I'm interested in separating disks, each disk is a two-dimensional object, and 2 plus 2 is 4, so I need one extra dimension. So in dimensions 5 and higher, I can separate disks, and that just makes topological objects easier to study. This is called the Whitney trick, and it led to the classification of smooth manifolds in higher dimensions back in the 60s.
And this is the problem with dimension 4. You can't, in dimension 4, you haven't got the space to separate two disks.
That's right. We don't have the geometric methods from lower dimensions, and we don't have the trick about separating disks. And that makes dimension 4 the hardest to wrap our heads around. To give you an example of something that's unique to dimension 4, instead of looking at exotic spheres, let's look at exotic hyperspaces. Remember, we had the line, and then the plane, and then the space, and in n dimensions we have the hyperspace. So could you have an exotic hyperspace? Something that looks like a plane or a space, and you can deform it into the ordinary one, but only by making corners. Here are the numbers of hyperspaces in each dimension. In any dimension except 4, there is just one. There's just the standard one, and there are no exotic hyperspaces. But in dimension 4, we have infinitely many. In fact, it's more than infinitely many. It's uncountably many. It's not the kind of infinity that you can count, 1, 2, 3, and so on. It's as many exotic hyperspaces as there are real numbers. And this doesn't happen in any other dimensions. If you have exotic objects in some other dimensions, you know that there are always finitely many of them. There's finitely many exotic spheres, as I showed you that list of numbers. But in dimension 4, you can have infinitely many exotic objects.